pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Commissioner Burris?
Here.
Oh, sorry, Mayor Burris. Commissioner Beazle? Here. Commissioner Mazzola?
Here.
Commissioner Mile?
Yes.
Commissioner Seaman?
Yes.
Commissioner Williams? Here. Quorum is present.
Anything to add to the agenda?
We have a letter from Stanton Fashion Days. They would like to be added to the agenda for the commission to consider use of hydrants during the festival.
Okay. Anybody else got anything else?
I'd like to just give an update on Veterans Park after the city manager report. And then
I'm
most
gonna
of it's,
put that in a minute.
okay.
Number 5 is a report. I want to add the Veteran Park chairman person to that. And then under number 7 would be the one that Bill just spoke about on the request for the use of hydrants. Number 8, the appointments of a city commissioner and also somebody to the DDA. Is there any other additions? If not, we need a motion to approve the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda with the additions.
And I will second.
We have a motion and support to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Public comments. None? We'll head to the standing items. Approval of the minutes for the July 10th, 2018 special meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes for the July 10th, 2018 special meeting.
I'll second.
We have a motion and support for the special meetings for July the 10th. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, motion carried. We need approval of the minutes for the July 10th regular meeting.
One thing I noticed, of course, was they're just like random sections that are like bolding or like different font sizes. I don't know what was going on with the computer. I think there was a computer issue maybe, but content wise.
I see it right here.
Yeah.
Under reports.
And maybe it was my screen, I was looking at the font sizes changed, it was, yeah, so like the bolding, anyway. But content-wise, I make a motion to approve the minutes for the July 10th, 2018 regular meeting.
We have support.
Yep, right here.
We have a motion and support for the regular meeting, July the 10th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Approval of the bills for July the 2018.
I was just curious what some of these things were. Auto wares, $146.77.
That's Dave's auto value, they just changed names.
And then Vixel electric motor service for $1,000.
That was the siren for the fire department.
The capital outlay to the treasurer's office. What's that? Monmouth County Treasurer capital, it went under capital outlay for $1,880.
purchase of the lot on Second Street.
And then there were two items for public services. Used to seeing your public services on there, the trash bags and such, but one said refunds and rebates, and the other one was for repair and maintenance.
Trash service pickup, I believe, is one of them. The trash bags is the other.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
I'll make a motion to approve paying the bills.
Second.
Motion and support, pay the bills for July 2018. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Reports. We've got DPW before you. Anything you want to add to that, Jamie?
No, thank you.
Could we, can I kind of add on to one of Jamie's statements about volunteers are welcome to weed out flower beds? Could we possibly, I know the garden club was once a thing, and maybe before Stanton Fashion Days, if we could maybe ask them for some volunteers on Facebook and things to come out and help do that so that it looks really nice for Stanton Fashion Days?
They used to meet like on a Saturday.
Yeah, like maybe next, like the first Saturday of August, I think it's the third or fourth. Maybe we could do something, ask for volunteers that morning to, and then assign, by however many show up, maybe assign flower beds or something to help out.
Maybe contact the Francis, if they'd be willing to lead that. Once the volunteers get down here.
Okay.
I think they were instrumental last time we had the garden club, weren't they?
That's a yes.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe I can touch base with them and then that's something that we can do. Do we have to vote on that in order to be able to post something like that? No, okay, so I'll work on that then. Okay, thank you. And check the chemical, because they do volunteer days.
Did volunteer flower beds before.
Oh.
It was in the newspaper, not because I was here. I saw it in the newspaper.
Okay, she's saying chemical bank employees once volunteered to do it too, so, okay, thank you.
We have the police report. We don't have to represent it there. Any questions about the police report? Not one word.
It's in the packet. In your packet,
City manager's report.
You have my report, before you, a couple of the items that are in the report are coming up yet on the agenda. I'll answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions to the city manager? We'll move on to the Veterans Park Chair.
I just wanted to let everybody know, kind of like built it in the manager report. Last Tuesday we met, had a very good meeting for the Veterans Park. A lot of people showed up. It was determined that 4 ballparks are still needed, including increasing the size of one field to 250 feet if they can find the room for it. So we have directed Prine and Newhoff to, while doing the engineering, to try to do that and figure out which field it is best aesthetic to do that to. They are currently working on that. We should have that result back within the next month. Franz Magnus, our grant contractor, was also at the meeting and presenting different funding options for the park. So our next meeting will be August 13th at 6 p.m. here in this room for anybody that would like to come and be a part of it. We are going to firm up the phases once we get the engineering. We're also looking at getting estimates for the cost of excavation and those things so that we can start rolling forward. And then once we have estimates, I mean, we're still going to ask for volunteers and things like that, but we have to have an estimate to even start grant work, etc. So things really seem to be moving forward fast. The disc golf, I don't know if I should call them engineers, but the group that is doing that layout, they have been out twice and they are working very diligently to get a map or a layout done for that. And we're hoping to also possibly have that for the meeting on the 13th as well, so we can kind of overlay it with the current draw and just see how things run aesthetically. So, moving forward in a positive way.
You said August the 13th?
Correct.
What
The-
time?
6 p.m.
Any other questions about the park? We have no existing business, so we'll move on to new business. Number 8 is a request to vacate a street.
In July, you directed me to create an ordinance for vacating streets. And my first step was to talk to the city attorney to make sure we're headed in a positive direction doing that before I'd actually started on the draft ordinance. In any case, the attorney said we don't need to have a special ordinance for vacating streets any longer in a city. It's the same as selling a city lot. The important thing, however, is for the city to determine how they wish to do that. So do you want, the decisions I've suggested that you make today is, do you even want to consider vacating Sherman Street? And if you don't, then, well, we're done. If you do, then things we need to look at is escrow deposit. In this case, there could be 7 properties that would have new deeds made because of the vacating portions of the street. Who's going to pay for that, and how much is that all cost? I've checked around some communities, they start at $1,000 with escrow fees. I'm suggesting $500. And then the last thing is, do you want to see a request from a property owner that's interested in vacating the street, or would you prefer to have a petition that's signed by, we'll say, half of the property owners to request vacating the street? The applicants typically would pay the freight for the new deeds and the work by city attorney to make all this happen, should you approve it. You always, I shouldn't say always, but oftentimes in vacating a street, there may be one property owner that says, well, if you're going to give it to me, I'll take the property, but I don't want to pay for a new deed or any of that stuff. Typically, the people that are making the application pay the freight. But I'll proceed in any way you wish. I just need to know how you want to move forward.
There's like 3 parcels along the south side of Sherman Street. Looks to me like 2 of them, unless they're owned by someone else, will be landlocked if they close the street. Is it?
That's true. And I think it's still split up. That larger parcel on the south side to the west is under one owner, but there's, I think, actually 3 parcels that front on Sherman. Next to that, there's 2 more. Then there's existing homes that are on New Street. On the north side, there's 2 parcels that would front on it. So the person who owns the property nearest to the bike path, I believe that's actually 5 separate parcels. The house is on the south parcel, actually 2 of them, but they could utilize the 3 parcels that are along Sherman for development. So they may not want to have the street vacated. At the same time, it may not be worth them to pay to create the street and put in the the asphalt and all that to make
I
the
don't,
street.
if you don't know the owners, but if they're going to landlock somebody, they're not going to want to do it, I wouldn't think. But These two lots are not gonna have access. Can't get anywhere, go the street.
The two lots that you're referring to that are under the ST and street to the south, that's the applicant that's requesting the vacation.
They must have access someplace else then.
Yes, they have access off Cortland. They're actually taking 4 lots and putting them together into one.
Is those people that live close to the trail, are they aware that there's discussion about vacating?
No. No,
See,
they
you've
would.
got,
Go ahead.
you've got another problem in there, that is that the neighbor to the north has, at some time in the past, moved a fence in and moved it right up tight to the people that had property on Sherman, right there by Sherman. So who gets the land?
When you vacate a street, the land is split in the middle. Half of it goes to the folks on one side of the street, the other half goes to the folks on the other side of the street.
But that fence was moved there, is it legal or illegal? Now, my understanding is that if somebody moves a fence like that and it's one of us own the property, after so many years, they can claim the property. But I understand by moving that fence, that when it's a municipality, that person that moved the fence cannot claim the property.
That's correct. That's correct.
So what we gotta do is find out, what are we gonna do, what about that fence? Who owns the property? I don't think we should do anything till we know where we stand legally.
But now there's 7 owners. Let's just request it.
Petition of that.
Everybody that wants it, I mean, they're all the owners are affected, have them sign a petition. If somebody doesn't do it, we'll know what the problems are and deal with that.
That's true.
I also have concerns about this particular location. I believe when we talked at the last meeting, it meets the trail in a similar location that we want to eventually make a trail connector in on the west side of the trail. And I'm just wondering if and when we go to put that in, if it would be helpful to have an access point from New Street to get like construction equipment back there and things that we need, rather than bringing everything in from 66. I don't know if we can get all the way back there by the trail to develop it. And also, if it's gonna become this park and this trail and event, every now and then, it seems like the city would have to have a way to get back and maybe do maintenance things. So I just feel like is it possible that we would need this?
But there's no way to use it, because the road's up here and the trail's down there.
The grade of the land.
There's like a 10, 15 foot road.
Okay, I didn't know what that
That's the
was.
only place out there that I never knew it was until I looked at it. There's a valley out there.
So what would it be best to do then? Tell the people that should be involved in this to start a petition, and then bring it to us?
Can do that.
Yeah. Because I don't think the city wants to get in the middle of a dispute. Let them iron it out, and if they want to do whatever they want to do, we'll do. Maybe.
And there's no sense in us moving forward unless we know that everybody's on board. I would say more than half of them would have to be on board.
Before you do anything, would you like me to petition the property owners and then bring that back to you? And you can decide if you want to move forward or not. based
Yeah, I
on-
think that'd be a good idea.
So we can handle that in form.
Next, under new business, would be the purchase of a new DPW truck.
In our fiscal year 2019 budget, we included $35,000 for the purchase of a new pickup truck. We're looking to replace the 2011 half-ton pickup with a three-quarter-ton 2018 pickup truck. The price of the truck and the additional items that it would need, like strobe lights, backup lights, toolboxes, new snowplow, totals $38,050. We have a written quote from the Chevy dealer for $10,000 for trade-in. So our net cost of the new pickup truck would be $28,050, and we budgeted $35,000. So we're requesting that the city commission authorize the manager to purchase the new truck and the accoutrements that go with it, and to trade in the 2011.
Also, move.
I'll second. And then I have a question. The old plow then, are we gonna keep that, or is that something that we're potentially gonna sell as well, or use on a different vehicle? How does that work?
If I may, well, we just got a price on the truck itself for trade-in, but we're going to try to get him to include the plow too.
Oh,
Already
just
got
that as well, okay,
the plow to go right with it.
okay.
What's wrong with the plow?
It's an undersized plow, to be honest. It's a straight blade, 7.6 blade. The new V blades are, for what we do with them, the little plow is just pointless.
Yeah, but it's cheaper to buy a mounting kit, fit the new truck, rather than a whole new plow.
That price for the truck and plow is all the new V plow included.
Right, I'm just asking what happens to the old one.
So we can
Yeah, I'm good with that, I was just curious. I supported Chuck's motion.
So potentially you're saying that you could get more
Potentially we
resale
could get
value than what it's quoted necessarily
Correct.
here. We could save money anyway.
Any further discussion? I have a motion and support make this purchase. All those in favor say aye.
That's
All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Next is number 8 on our list.
No.
Oh, okay. That's her. You all have in front of you a request from the old-fashioned days to let them use some hydrants again this year. Any discussion?
Is this any different than they've done before?
Been done every year for a long time.
It's the same as them.
Yeah.
Any reason we shouldn't do it?
I'll make a motion to approve waiving the water usage fee.
Support.
We have a motion and support to allow them to use the fire hydrants. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion carried.
I'd like to make a motion to add something to the new business line. About the parking lot, the mulberry trees.
What?
Mulberry trees in the parking lot, have them taken down. So we can get away with that, get rid of that mess forever.
parking lot?
The one where the deck, it'd be so the ultimate air dogs are gonna be on that street. And then there's that deck between the parking lot and Hotel on and there's 2 mulberry trees there that have created quite a mess on that parking lot.
The only way we're gonna stop it is to take them out.
It just never ends, does it? Got lots of practice.
Can we add that at this time?
like a wart, it's like a wart, it just doesn't want to go away.
Is it possible to add it since it's already been approved?
I made a motion,
Well, the agenda was
it's just
approved.
gotta be accepted, and then we vote on it.
The agenda was already approved.
Well, we have to
We
take-
approve the agenda.
It's good, Johnny, come lately that we have to approve the motion. The commission has to approve to allow this motion.
Yes. If there's no second, then we'll do that.
We have to, everybody was asked back when we started for what they wanted on the agenda. And now to put this on the agenda, according to Bill, the commission has to give you the permission.
That's why I asked,
Okay.
I made a motion to add something to it.
Any discussion on this?
Gotta have a second.
You ready to make a motion?
He did.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That was just to add it to the agenda?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Motion was made to have mulberry trees removal added to the agenda.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of what they call that parking lot.
It's the former
I
recycling.
think they should have somebody
That's what I would
who
call
do a
it.
study.
You want to put that in?
So they know which one it is.
Okay. Motion was made by Seaman to have the mulberry trees removed and added removal from the parking lot of former recycling.
Is there any more?
Northwest corner of Camburn and.
I'll never tell.
Well, southeast corner.
Of Camburn and.
Well, I guess it
Walnut.
depends on which way you, yeah.
It'd be the north,
Yeah.
northwest corner.
Of the intersection.
Okay, so motion was made by Seaman.
That way it's cleaned up before old fashioned days, and it will never come back again.
Okay, have a mulberry tree removal from the former, from the northwest corner of Camberg and Walnut.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's a motion to remove them. Do we have a second?
Yep.
Oh, that was to put it on the agenda.
That's what the agenda.
I'll second John's.
Did you make a motion to remove them then?
Not just for the first
Okay,
part.
sorry, I missed that part.
Any further discussion?
I would like to ask the DPW director's opinion, because I know there's a lot to do in the next 2 weeks, if that's feasible for you and your guys. I mean, because you guys have stumps to grind prior to, right? And we don't have the mower on staff anymore.
Now, who's gonna clean it if you don't?
Your motion is to remove the trees, or is it to remove the trees within a certain time period?
Well, the way I was understanding
Yeah.
John is he wants them removed before St. Fashion Days.
Right, otherwise,
That's not the question I asked. What is the action of the commission? Is the commission ordering the DPW to remove those trees in the next 10 days?
yes.
Or are they
Removal within.
asking that they be put on the list of work to do that's
Removal.
determined by the manager, the
Next 10 days.
DPW director?
You're okay with that, Mike?
To get them
I'm
removed,
not sure what you're asking.
to add, I want to add to get them removed within the next 10 days, so we don't deal with old fashioned
Is
days.
that feasible?
If nobody tells Jamie to do anything, he's got probably 7 or 8 months of work to do. So if you're giving him time restrictions for this, then we have to set aside other critical work that's being done in the city. It's your city, you decide what you want to do, but
Can I make a motion to amend John's motion to just that the mulberry trees go on the list of work to be completed, trees to be taken down?
Who's gonna clean it for old fashioned days?
Well, how'd they do it last year?
Last year, the dumpsters were there. The recycling dumpsters, or a portion of them.
Not, for the mulberry trees, dumpsters around the side of it.
There was the cardboard ones there.
Well, that's right.
It might be quicker just to sweep them up in the next 10 days than it would be to take down a whole tree.
Yeah.
You can take a tree down less than 30 minutes. Let me show you.
I think I should motion that John does it.
My point is, we're in the process of finding water leaks around the house in the city. That's taking a lot of time. We're in the process of cleaning septic tanks. That takes time. And if you want to set that aside to take down a tree, then let us know and we'll do it whatever way you want.
We've got a lot of people coming to town.
We only have 3 DPW workers.
Okay, so you have parking lot, are the mulberry trees on the northeast corner or the northwest corner of the lot?
Right in the middle on the north side.
Right, just on the north end?
But when you have the dog tank coming in, or the junk tank, a lot of the dog owners will park in that lot and set up their crates and things for their dogs. So they're gonna want the shade, but I think they just don't want the mess. Is my,
You want to make this town livable, is what I'm saying.
Right, I don't wanna, overload Jamie.
that, I mean,
No, I'm not discounting that it needs to get done. It should get done while we're at it with the trees. Bills, it sounds like there's a lot going right now.
I don't think that we should put a time limit on it. Because they do have plenty to do. This should have came up a while back.
I'd like to amend the motion to removing the mulberry trees. Removal of mulberry trees being added to the
Remove
list.
my motion.
We have support.
He just removed his.
He just
motion.
removed his
So I
motion,
can't amend
so-
it.
Okay.
I'll make a new motion to add the mulberry trees to the list of trees to
Schedule.
be removed.
Support.
Any further discussion?
I'd like to move that we amend the motion to say that as part of the cutting the trees out, we'll replace them with some other suitable tree. Trying to make a place down for people to hang out. Cutting trees out, leave them parking lot, is not a good thing for us. Amendment is if cutting down trees, includes replacement of those trees.
So what are you saying now?
I'm saying that if we, I can see why they want to cut the trees down, they just want to replace them with something else, so they're going to, whatever.
Is that added to the
Yes,
motion?
I'm saying that they have most of it. The trees we cut down, they can do it and.
Okay, that's what I wanted to understand.
Those trees are on city property or are they on the hotel's
That's a
property?
good question.
They're right on the line. Right on the line
See,
there.
that's just like that light pole I've been asking about, that's right behind there, nobody can give me an answer on, that's been brought up.
I think we should just have Bill look into this and investigate it. Whose property are they on first? And then I'd love to do something about it at the next meeting.
That's going to take a survey. We're talking, I guess, because it's
Oh.
back there.
I'm just gonna withdraw my motion. Seems like we don't have enough solid information right now.
What are we gonna do? Wrap the whole thing?
Change, we do motions.
I just have one question. When they're hooking up to the hydrants, This is, I'm just thinking the cleanup of that area before Santa Fe.
They don't have time.
I'm not talking DPW here. They're gonna have to hook up to the hydrants with a hose to fill the pool. What if at that same time, we wash out the parking lot with all those mulberries?
That's not the city doing it.
I'll go down there and hold the hose, are you kidding me? Like, if I can, if it's not too strong. Well, there's that, I mean, but then again, where are they gonna go? They're gonna go into a storm drain, and then that's probably not the best situation either, right?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard last night at the Old Fashioned Days meeting that it sounded like Jamie was gonna go down to the hydrant and run it so we wouldn't have a brown water tank like we did one year, and so he.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if
Yeah,
you gotta run it to
doing that,
get
he's
your
gonna
water.
run it and spray the.
But I don't know where the nearest hydrant is, to, you know, for hose length, convenience, etc. Is it that corner, or is it the next one over?
There's one right there.
So if you've gotta run it for clear water anyway, would it be possible to wash those away?
Involve the fire department.
So I guess at this time, we're just researching property lines distinction, correct, or no? Are you giving up on this?
Would we need a survey if the city agrees and the hotel owner agrees? So we would need a survey.
Never have so far. Do that, but we wouldn't have to do
So what are we, the last thing we're gonna do here?
You know,
Everything's withdrawn, so I don't think we can go back.
Okay. Number 8 is appointment to fill the commissioner seat vacated by the resignation of Commissioner Yoder. At this time, I appoint Mary Thomas to be the next city commissioner with the approval of the commission. We'll need a motion and support.
That makes sense to me because whoever's appointed is only going to have a term for 3 months.
I know, but, yeah,
So if you,
but to appoint her, then you have the last say.
I'll move to approve your appointment because I think it makes no sense to appoint somebody else and then have them wait for 3 months and then,
So all you guys gotta do is vote.
well, we got to take a second.
Second.
We have a motion and we have support to accept Mary Thomas as the next city commissioner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? How do you pronounce that last name?
Kilduff.
Huh?
Kilduff.
Kilda.
Kilduff.
Kilduff? Okay. We have another appointment to the DDA, and we just got a hold of it today, was that Rachel
Kilduff.
Kildor has agreed to serve on the DDA board.
And just to clarify, she's the manager at Brickyard.
I appoint her to the DDA. Do we need to vote on that, or?
I'll make a motion to accept the appointment.
Support?
Support.
I have a motion and support to accept her for the DDA. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Now we're down to public comments. Any from the public?
Jackie McGill, 508 East Bradford Street. I got questions on this vacating the street thing. Am I able to ask a question? Because I don't understand it. I live on a dead-end street, and I don't understand how you're doing that. Is that gonna be a street-by-street thing? You know what I'm saying? Is it gonna be different for different streets? I don't understand.
Sherman Street was never.
I know, I get that, Jamie, but that's not what I mean. I mean, I'm on a dead-end street, and right now I own, Jamie knows where I live. You come down this way and you come this, I live back in here. This street right here, I own the north side of that street. If I were to sell that, and all of a sudden these two guys get together and say, we want that street, are they gonna be able to do that and landlock me in? That's the question.
No. It's an existing street
Yes.
that you drive on.
Yes. That's my question. Great, thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Commissioner comments?
I still would really like to know who was that light behind the hotel.
Light pole that's right off of their sidewalk.
Right under their porch. That hooked up to our power. That we're paying for.
Behind.
Right.
Any other questions, comments? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
We have a motion to adjourn, supported. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Aye.